What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing today?
Yo, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't doing really good right now. I'm back at my parents' crib. I got my AC unit blasting. Yankees just swept the Oakland A's. And I think I might be going to the beach later. Not to swim or nothing, but like maybe a fire, a little bonfire. I don't know. It very much feels like good summer vibes right now. And I'm chilling, dude. Doing good. How are you?
You know what that just reminded me of? You know, like that TikTok where it's like, yo, my unemployed friend on like a Tuesday at 4. I'm like, bro, it's a Wednesday. You're going on a bonfire on the beach. That's nice, though. I respect it.
Dude, weekday day
Um,
games, they free up my schedule a little bit.
sure.
Might see a movie too.
What movie?
The Air movie, which has been out for, well, actually, I'm going to do, I'm going to see Air possibly tonight, which is like the Michael or the Jordan Shoe movie, whatever. And then also the Yogi Berra documentary comes out this weekend. In fact, the Yankees play 2 night games. It's pretty tough. So I'll probably won't see it till I think Saturday night, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah. So I'm taking up so much time
Cool.
here. I don't know how your day's going. How you
Yeah,
doing?
no, my day's great. The weather's beautiful. The Yankees won. And you know what? Let's get right into the show. Before we do that, though, check out Foco, bro. We'll show you guys some other products later. This hoodie may or may not be from there. Code Yankees Avenue and check out, save 15% off your order. We'll show you guys some other stuff later. But let's get right to topic number one. And Dan, the Yankees did what they had to do. We said in the last episode that the only way we would be satisfied with this series against the Oakland A's at home was if they swept. And they did just that. They swept. There wasn't really any point in the series either where I was like, yo, like we're in danger of losing this game. Sure, there were like a little moments where I was like, yo, what is our pitching staff doing? But offensively, I had zero doubt in my mind that we were scoring 5+ runs every single night. The A's just look like that bad of a team, bro. They look like a little league team out there. So shout out to the Yankees for winning the games that they needed to win. And they scored a combined 28 runs in these 3 games. And I guess now we could kind of ask the question. I'll let you answer first. Is the Yankees lineup watchable again? Are they back? Or did they just capitalize on a very putrid Oakland A's pitching staff?
All right, so I'll give the crappy answer here, a little mix of both. Now, some people will definitely bring up the fact that, yeah, they played the A's, and they are without question, dude. I mean, like, it's not just, oh, they're the worst team in baseball. It's a new low. When you watch them play, dude, it's like, it's the first time I've truly felt bad for an opponent while beating them. I very rarely ever feel that way. But regardless, what do we always hear? Like, you got to beat up on the bad teams if you have any, like, they would say, what, play 500 against the good teams, beat up on the bad teams. And there's 3 guys I really want to talk about. And they're not Harrison Bader, which we'll get to in a minute. But yo, Anthony Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu, and Gleyber Torres. They're having very good season. Just to go by their OPS, Rizzo, 856, DJ, 825, Gleyber Torres, 816. And then you have Aaron Judge back. You get, of course, Bader too. Dude, all of a sudden, our lineup's not perfect, but it's enough to where when I see it come out, I no longer am dreading watching the game. I know that they at least will be able to have a shot. And part of me feels decent about this because it's not just the A's. I mean, that final game against the Rays, won't talk about it too much, but, they did score 7 runs in that game. And prior to that, they had some competitive at-bats as well and put up some runs on the board. So we're making progress. We are not there yet by any means, but I think we're actually in a much different spot than we were 2 weeks ago. And trends are kind of shooting upward a little bit. So I'm feeling better. I am.
Yeah, same. I'm feeling a lot better about the Yankees. Just because they did what they had to do, right? Like if the Yankees would have even lost one game of this series, I would have been a little bit pissed off. But they faced the Oakland A's, the worst team in baseball. They won all 3 games. The offense looked great. Harrison Bader looks like the greatest Yankee of all time. Like you said, Anthony Rizzo, bro, he's quietly putting up a great season. He's flying super under the radar. I feel like
He
no one's
is.
even really talking about him because I feel like everyone's so focused on the negatives of the Yankees right now that it's like Rizzo's putting up a great season, but that's kind of getting ignored because it's not really making a difference, you know? And yeah, DJ's putting up good numbers. Glaber, I feel like he's never gonna get that recognition as to like having a great season just because of the way that his hot and cold streaks balance out. Like it's difficult for people to kind of like put that whole thing into perspective until the end of the year. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like you could ask me on any given day, like is Gleyber Torres having a good year this year? I won't be able to answer, dude, because like he might be on one of his 0 for 20 cold streaks, or he might be like 10 for his last 15. So Gleyber, I
Fair.
think that his like insane hot and cold streaks kind of hinder him in that way. But yeah, the Yankees offense as a whole, like especially with Judge back now, with Bader back now, hopefully everyone stays healthy. And then all you're really missing is Stanton and then a bat at the deadline. And then, bro, the lineup's looking pretty decent. The pitching staff's another story, but lineup as a whole, definitely feeling more confident.
Yeah, and also some of the supplemental players too. We know Willie Calhoun had been picking it up a little bit, which funny enough, it seems like once he started to hit well, they stopped playing him. Hilarious. Oswaldo Cabrera, though, had that nice homer the other day. He was getting a damn lot of praise for that. Even though, granted, it was an 89-mile-an-hour exit velocity and it just hooked around the pole. But he's starting to swing the bat a little bit better. Jake Bauers, one of the most unbelievable home runs, honestly, that I ever seen in my life. That on Saturday, or not Saturday, Jesus Christ, on Tuesday, dude, opposite field, left center, Yankee Stadium, 425 feet. I mean, that was incredible. So even outside the guys we're talking about, the other guys are, of course, not going to be around for too long. Some of them, they're even looking a little bit better. Now, real quick on Gleyber Torres, I definitely understand what you're saying. It's hard to really fully get a grasp on still to this day, like what Gleyber Torres actually is because he is so hot and cold. With that said, though, he's a free agent after next year. I brought up the talks of extensions before with him.
Would you say 8 years?
So initially I put out 8 years, 140 million. Now, I think looking back, that definitely was a little bit too much, although definitely not crazy. You don't need to go all the way to 140, but I believe the AAV on that was $17 million a year. He's a free agent after next year. And while Gleyber Torres is not a star, he's a key player of this team. I think that much is obvious at this point. I wouldn't be shocked, dude, if before the end of this regular season, we see Gleyber Torres extension. I really do. Because I wouldn't be, man. I mean, especially you think about it, like if you don't have him going forward, like what is the next clear option? Is it Oswald Peraza? Is that what we're waiting on? Because he's essentially, if you look at the depth chart, like he's who his replacement would be. So if you're not banking on him to be anything great, which it seems almost like the Yankees have very quickly lost a lot of faith in Oswald Peraza. I'm just saying it just makes so much sense for Gleyber to be here long term. I don't know what the numbers are, but
until you look at like the peripherals, right? It's like I'm looking at Gleyber Torres as a guy who's insanely hot and cold. I'm looking at Gleyber Torres as a guy who has clearly had issues with the organization in the past, whether if it's like, calling him out for being out of shape or like being upset with trade rumors.
Well, we do know he wants to be here though. So
sure,
I think he's
what I'm saying
is
end. That I'm just not sure. And I view Luis Severino the same way. We'll get into him a little bit later, but I view him in the same way where it's like, there's a lot of question marks involved for a guy that I'm not sure if I want to give long-term. Like, bro, 8 years is a long time. Like, we've seen how badly these long-term contracts have bitten the Yankees before, and I'm worried it could happen again. And I think Gleyber would be a key person that I'd be worried about.
Forget 8 years. Would you do a 6-year deal? Would you entertain a 6-year contract extension?
I would entertain 4 or 5.
Fair, sure. Now, on Sevy, I think the big difference there is it makes no sense because he's never on the field. Like, I think you'd be crazy right now to think of a long-term future with Luis Severino. On the contrary, with Gleyber, at least, he's always there. The problem is just that, he's very inconsistent, hot or cold. But in the end, at some point, say he continues on this year, having a good year, you could probably just look at that August of 2022 as an aberration. All of a sudden, you have, for the most part, 2 years of a very productive second baseman, one of the better ones in baseball. And also, one more thing, I will say the fact that Gleyber's not a star player and it won't cost all that much, to me, makes it make even more sense. Like, dude, it's probably going to be, like 15, 16, I don't think he'd even touch 20 mil. So if you're able to do that over 5 or 6 years, it's something interesting. I don't know, maybe to keep your eye on. But point I'm making here is, the big three, and that's really what I've been labeling them as: Rizzo, LeMahieu, Gleyber. Like, even without Judge, because he hasn't been around, like those are the guys that had to carry us, and they've done their job. Rizzo, DJ, Gleyber have been awesome. Now we have Bader back and raking. Judge, we know who he is. He'll be great. So yeah, I mean, kind of wrap it all up. Summarize my answer. Like, I am feeling a little bit better about the lineup, dude, which is a nice feeling and quicker than I thought I would. Really, like I didn't expect to feel this way. Really, I didn't really expect to feel much hope, honestly, until Stanton came back.
And bro, last episode we were like down in the dumps, and now all of a sudden, like the vibes are starting to come back.
That's baseball, baby. I love it. You feel every emotion to the 10,000th freaking degree, dude. Because when you're on the low, it makes the high feel so much better. And like, I think it's part of it, dude. It's the journey of the 162. And then, shit goes down this week against the Rays. Like, I'm gonna come back all depressed, but if they sweep, I'll be at like the peak of my life. It's just, that's why sports is the greatest thing in the world, honestly.
It's
because
nice.
Where else, dude? It literally is a real life like soap opera. Like, or just like the drama you get from it, like, is so, how do I explain this? Like, you get such fulfilling drama out of sports, but also in the end, it technically doesn't mean anything. So it's like, it does.
It means more than a soap opera. At least there's like trophies involved, and it's like there's storylines, bro. Like,
maybe
a soap opera.
I mean, like something dramatic that's like real life, and you like get a
reality show.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say reality show
like
first,
keeping
but
up
I realized
with the Kardashians.
I was gonna say that, but like that's exactly what it is technically, is a reality show.
Well, yeah, because
You know what I'm
love of
saying
your
though?
life. Dan,
Like
let's get into
it's good to
topic numbers.
experience the highs and the lows. Yeah, let's go.
Sure. So we were talking about the Yankees offense too. Well, one guy in particular who's kind of the savior of the season, Harrison freaking Bader, bro. I was questionable as to whether or not he was going to be that guy returning. Obviously in Tampa, he did what he did. And now in this Oakland A series, he did what he did as well. He's just raking, dude. I think his OPS is something stupid. It's like gotta be
1.341.
yeah, stupid. And on the flip side, Anthony Volpe, he's kind of been struggling as of late, but he had that grand slam in the final game of the A series. He has a lot of hard hit balls that just seem to not
A lot.
find, yeah. But like I said, he is struggling at the top of the order. He's probably batting what after today, like a little bit above 200.
205, yeah.
Sure. And now I guess you kind of have people questioning. It's like, yo, did the Yankees move Anthony Volpe to the leadoff spot a little bit too early? Because he seems to not really be putting up like leadoff hitter type numbers up there. And do you switch him with Harrison Bader, who we saw him experiment with leadoff a little bit in the postseason last year, and he's obviously been their best hitter this season, I guess you could say, in a very small sample size, but still. So Dan, would you swap Volpe and Bader in the lineup?
No, I'm not there yet. I really wouldn't. Now, I don't think they definitely didn't put him there too soon because that was just really out of dire needs. You had to put him there. Who else would go there? Yeah, now with Bader, I see, people's argument, but part of why I love Bader, and he is going to come back down to earth, but if he's going to be this productive of a hitter or, better than his career averages, having him down towards the bottom of the order, I think is a huge advantage, especially knowing that, Volpe's not always going to be this bad at some point. And he has too shown he's more than capable of being a big league hitter. And a lot of that has come actually, once he found his stroke, like second week of April, him batting in front of Judge, he was doing well. And then when Judge goes out, I mean, you look back at this slump, it's particularly been actually during Judge's IL stint. So, I mean, I'm curious to see if that's maybe part of it. I think Volpe will get going. Grand Slam might be a good start of that. And also, yeah, just having Bader down in the bottom of the lineup, like, what do we always talk about? Lengthening the lineup. And I think that's what Bader does, having him in the sixth hole. And, by the end of the year, I mean, maybe fully healthy constructively. If you have Stanton back and you get a left field piece, but then you can rework things. I think right now what they got going is perfect. You go Volpe, Judge, Rizzo. LeMahieu has to stay in the 4 spot. Then Glaber, then Bader, and then the best 6 through 9 you can have, really. So, I mean, I'm cool with the way the lineup is right now. I don't think really much needs to be changed unless this goes on for if this goes on for like another month and you think it's like, or another 2 weeks and you think it's actually like affecting Volpe, which I don't see that being the case, then maybe you would change it. But I'm good.
Yeah, I think also a month from now, if he's still like batting 200 at the leadoff spot, I think you might have to start like questioning, you know what I mean? Like questioning whether or not you want to like make a move in the lineup. And this goes back to what we were saying in the postseason last year when we were kind of talking like, yo, do the Yankees move Aaron Judge from the 2 hole? And you viewed that as kind of like a disrespect or like oh, you can't do that. I think the lineup, like, sure, you should have a fairly consistent lineup on a daily basis. But if you want to experiment with things like, bro, the regular season is the time to do it. I feel like last year in the postseason, we saw way too many occurrences of the Yankees experimenting with the lineup for the first time in the postseason. And, bro, like, I feel like that should never happen. That should be things that you test out in the regular season, right? So if the Yankees want to experiment with Harrison Bader at the leadoff spot and they think that that's something that could arise in a postseason scenario, bro, do it. Like nothing's locking Anthony Volpe into the leadoff spot, especially if he's not putting up like insane contribution up there. So yeah, I mean, while I do think that Anthony Volpe is their leadoff hitter of the future, and I think that you should stick with him, I don't think if they happen to move him from the leadoff spot for a couple of games that anybody should view it as, oh, like they're demoting Volpe because you're not performing well. No, it's just a matter of, yo, let's experiment and see what works best. Maybe, bro, you move him to the 7 or 8 hole, bro. Dude's hitting like 350. Who knows? All I'm saying is that I wouldn't view it as a sign of disrespect. All I'm saying is I think that the Yankees could definitely experiment with the lineup and see what works.
I'm with you on that. I mean, pretty much the point I was making is like, if I were Aaron Boone, I'm not taking him out of the leadoff spot right now. But if they were to, I wake up tomorrow and I see the lineup has him in the 6 hole, that's fine. Like I do trust, whatever the Yankees want to do, like that's fine because the alternative is good. Like I'm not going to complain about Bader in the leadoff spot. And also the big advantage of that is, yeah, he's your best hitter right now. Putting him in the leadoff spot, that gets him far more bats over the course of a long sample size. So there's definitely like advantages to both cases to be made for both.
And also, let me say, last thing I want to hit on this topic, but I do think I know the Yankees moved Volpe to lead off like pretty quickly out of necessity, but I wish that there was a scenario where he stayed at the bottom of the order like a little bit longer and just was able to find himself a little bit more comfortable. Because, bro, I feel like he was thrown into the leadoff spot like before he even hit any sort of hot streak at the major league
But
level.
then
You
he
know what I
did
mean?
get on a hot streak though. So like, it's interesting because he did go to the leadoff spot. And remember,
Yeah.
it started off with that leadoff homer against the Braves that he had. And then for the next 2 weeks, he was hitting the ball well, went into another little mini slump, picked it up against
Kind of
Texas.
like
But
a
then
Glaber situation.
kind of, and I mean, talk about name of the game for rookies. I mean, this is all what it's going to be about. Like adjusting, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. Like what you really hope for is that the end product in terms of this year is like you kind of know what you have in Volpe, a good leadoff hitter, stolen bases, good defense. Which the last two he's shown completely. I mean, he's been successful pretty much in all regards except just with the bat, and even that he's shown glimpses. So you kind of I feel like just hope that through the growing pains by going into October, like he's kind of solidified as like, all right, he's a dog.
I agree.
Foco,
We're on the same page, Dan. There you go.
we're on the same page, bro.
Want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Foco, bro. If you guys haven't checked them out already, what are you doing? Like,
Seriously.
we've been telling you guys about their products for so long. Next episode, we have a bunch of new products to show you guys. But, bro, check out this short sleeve hoodie. Dude, it's perfect for this nice spring weather we're having. It's actually really comfortable.
Do you think I could rock a short sleeve hoodie? I've always been like,
why not?
I feel like certain
was
people have, like
questionable
you look good as hell in it. You look, that was
Thank
one of the first thing I said to you today. I was like, yo, where did you get that hoodie? What would you call that first, shirt or a hoodie? If you could call it one thing.
It's a short sleeve hoodie.
Well, you just totally ignore the question. If you could call it one thing, a shirt or a hoodie.
I call it a short sleeve hoodie. And if I had to call it a shirt or a hoodie, I'm calling it a hoodie. Or I'm calling it a shoody. Shoody woody
guys,
coody.
Go get yourself a shoody from Foco and a bunch of other stuff as well. I don't have anything behind me because I am my parents' crib, but y'all seen my room before. I got that dope. Pat actually has it, I believe, too. The wall art, the wood wall art, if you got it around. They have awesome bobbleheads, the best bobbleheads in the game. Anything with the Yankee logo on it, they probably have it. So, guys, Yankees just swept the A's. We have a big series with the Rays coming up. You want to get decked out. You want to be ready to go. And how do you do that? Using code Yankees Avenue for 15% off at Foco. Yo, I'm next episode because I feel kind of bad. The last 2 weeks I've been here, so I don't really have any of my stuff. I'm getting so unbelievably decked out in Foco for the Monday
big
episode.
Box waiting for you, Dan.
Not even just that, but I'm gonna put on. Yo, talk about beach season, bro. I might have to throw the board shorts on for next episode with the button down and like the hat.
Maybe we'll both wear the button down and the hat. We'll see.
Code Yankees Avenue, 15% off.
Let's get into topic number 3. And Dan, you know what topic number 3 is? Our favorite Yankee of all time, Luis friggin' Severino. He made a rehab start in AAA on Wednesday. Topped out 98. Apparently, he's getting through the outing fine health-wise. With his return as soon as next week, how big of a boost do you think a healthy Luis Severino will be to the Yankees rotation?
Absolutely huge. Now, I want to first start off by saying Johnny Brito, I think, actually kind of did his job. He did. I mean, first 2 starts were great, had the blow up against Minnesota, and since then, really has kind of just been an average pitcher, but also has kept the Yankees in the game. Now, it's May 10th, the day we record this. So what has that been? Like a little over a month, or let's just say 4 or 5 starts to Johnny Brito. I think because of the fact outside of one game, he's kept him in every game. I give him a B. He's done his job. With that said,
that's very generous.
No, I would say he has. I mean, dude, the problem is that the Yankees don't have enough depth. It's not that he should be an 8th or a 9th starter on the depth chart, but he was the next man up because all these injuries. I think in his like personalized case, just in terms of like expectations, like who he is as a pitcher, I think for a little over a month, he did fine. And a lot of his games were in just outside of that Minnesota game. But anyways, with that said, he's a clear candidate to be booted. Now, I mean, Clark also hasn't been great either, but I think he's also shown a little bit of signs. With Sevy coming back now, you're starting to form like a little bit of we'll have 3/5 of the rotation that we imagine would be, one of the best in baseball. You'll have Cole, Nestor, and Sevy. That right there, I look at it and I say, that's if you were to go into like a best of 5 series, a playoff series, probably one of the best 1, 2, 3s you could have in the American League. Honestly, especially you look at the health around the league. Have you seen what's going on with the Astros? Damn, bro. They've been
I know.
fucked up with injuries.
I think they're off to their worst start since 2016. And bro, I was thinking of this. When I saw the stat, I was like, yo, this is the Astros' worst start since 2016. The 1 year the Astros suck, the Yankees can't be good, bro.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious, dude. That would be horrible. Imagine we both miss the playoffs, dude. Like the 1 year they're vulnerable and we don't even make it. But anyways, the point I was making is not even just their record, but their health for their pitchers. I mean, they're really going through it. Anyways, Cole, Nestor, Sevy, that 1, 2, 3, that's a top 3 in the AL. Like that is awesome. That is legit, and that is going to make a big difference for the Yankees once he comes back, which should be soon. Apparently, he only needs like 1 or 2, maybe more rehab starts, then could be back. So I think we're looking at my birthday's May 26th. I think Sevy's pitching by then. That's just an easy line of demarcation to go off of. So point is, another thing trending upwards for the Yankees. Now, I don't want to get into Carlos Rodon a little bit too much, But his wife did come out the other day and said he's pitching this season. That's a pretty good, reliable source. So talk about positive trends.
She
We
didn't
got this
say
three.
that.
If we got
She
this
just
three going
denied the report that he wasn't going to pitch this
by
season.
literally calling it bullshit. So that seems she's pretty strong that her hubby's going to pitch this season, which I think dude, he's getting a cortisone shot. Let's give a little update on right now. We're done. Got a cortisone shot. He's seen it through the weekend. Hopefully, he's going to throw by the end of the weekend. And then maybe you get him, I don't know, some point in the second half. All I'm saying is this is a day right after sweep the A's. People are starting to get a little bit healthier where you can kind of be like, we're feeling all right. Sevy's coming back soon. That's huge. And then when good things start to happen, you can kind of like allow yourself to dream that more good things could possibly happen. Maybe Rodon will pitch this year too. Stanley back at some point as well. Yo, like,
bro, what happened to the vibes of like before the season? You're like, Pat, why are you stressed about Rodon? He's gonna be back by early May. Now it's like, yo, if he comes back this season, we're getting.
Well, that's what it is now. What am I gonna say? Oh, well, I think Rodon's gonna be back second week of April. Like, no, it's May 10th now, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do? Best case scenario is I might get him back. Hey, you know what? You want me to get crazy with it too? Hey, Frankie Montas might actually pitch this year too.
He might. No, he might. And if he does, I'll be ecstatic because we won't have to watch Clark Schmidt every fifth day, even though he might be better at this point. But back to Luis Severino. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for his return. I think his return is huge for the Yankees rotation because, bro, you're getting Johnny Brito out of here. And obviously a healthy Sevy is better than a healthy Johnny Brito. But I can't get past the fact that I'm not relying on Sevy to stay healthy for the rest of the season. Like, I think every start that goes by, I'm going to be worried, like, yo, is he hitting the IL after this? And I think if he could just stay healthy the rest of the season, bro. Also, this is a contract year for him, no? So he's going to want to stay healthy in order to get some sort of payday in the offseason.
That's part of why he wants to come back so quickly.
Yeah, and not have signed a 1 year prove it. But also on the flip side with Sevy, bro, I'm so tired of hearing him complain about stuff. I don't know if you saw he came out to the media. He was like unhappy with how the Yankees were handling his rehab. I don't think he wanted to make any rehab starts. If I'm
well,
not
he didn't want to.
mistaken.
Well, initially first happened was he was going to make a rehab start in low A, and then the Yankees were like, "Nah, we're going to keep it like confined, like nobody around, no media in a simulated game." That kind of pissed him off. But he finished. But also, I will say, like with Sevy, he has complained a lot. But it's all been about him wanting to be back on the field, and that's not something I'm going to really fault.
But when Aaron Hicks does it, everyone bashes.
Well, but Aaron Hicks is nothing. That's him not accepting his role on the team. With Sevy, he just wants to get back quicker. And on the flip side of that, I also will say, I think the Yankees have handled Sevy great. I think all they've done so far has actually made sense. Like, take your time with him, and because of that, maybe we will see Sevy finally be able to, at least from this point on.
I hope so.
I don't blame him for not expecting it, but the Yankees actually have managed Sevy pretty well over the last couple of years, and I'm hopefully we get good results out of it this time too, because they're taking their time with him. They are. I mean,
yes,
that's why he's pissed.
One thing I do hope is like he comes back, he stays healthy, he like doesn't complain about anything. I just want to see a healthy Luis Severino dominate on the mound because we know that's what his
potential is. He ain't gonna complain. What is he gonna complain about? When he's on the team, he don't complain about nothing.
No. But I'm even looking at like last year's postseason when he called like Alex Bregman's home run lucky. Like it's just like these little whack. Like it's these little snippets from Sevy. I'm just like, bro, sometimes you're better off just not saying anything, But
I don't think it's as bad as you're making it out to be. But I do remember that. That was.
Yeah,
but I also remember too, like when Sevy's dealing, dude. Like he's want to argue. Like he's some people's favorite player on the team.
No, I know.
He's
but
being a dog when he's because there's times where you're watching Sevy pitch. Even to this day, we saw it last year in 22. Like. He is still that guy when on the field. And I know that when on the field thing is so annoying to say, but he is supposed to come back. So it is quite exciting.
Yes, and people love when I say this to you, so I'm going to say it. No. So have you seen those comments?
I did see those comments, yes.
So, Dan, no, because it's like, I'm looking at Luis Severino. It's like, if he has another injury setback or another IL stint this season, he's coming back. Hear me out. And I know this might be something that he would complain about. He would be coming back as a reliever. I think it would make a lot of sense. Now, like we've seen Sevy flourish in the bullpen, and it doesn't really make that much sense for the Yankees just because they already have one of the best bullpens in baseball. But I think like it might just be a fact at this point. Like if Luis Severino gets hurt again this season, maybe he just doesn't have the durability to be a starting pitcher through a full major league season.
I don't think they would have it. You'd have to do that when you have only when you have an abundance of resources, really. Like if there were a need in the pen and not a need in the rotation, that I'd say word, but I'm not sure they'll ever get to that point.
Yeah, but would you rather a healthy Sevy in the bullpen or a hurt Sevy as a starter?
I don't know if that's correlated. Like, is he getting hurt all the time? Because it's not like he's thrown a lot of
Who
innings,
knows?
but it's not like he's thrown a lot of innings per se to where like, all right, it's mileage on the arm. That's the reason why he's getting hurt all the time. I don't think like I'm sure it's probably something that's like, I don't know, mechanical based that, if Sevy were a bullpen pitcher the last 4 or 5 years, like same injuries may have happened. Like the dude just may not be durable. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
And also like
Neither
the
are you,
Yankees,
though. I mean, look at your face.
I know. Actually, honestly, speaking of durable, it's healing up quite quickly. It is kind of
Oh,
getting there.
I'm so like
I had another
I don't
point.
want to
It's all
throw
good
you
though.
off. No, there's one point I want to make about your bruise. Let me know in the comments if you guys correlate. We were talking about this before the
If
show.
you call it
If
a
you have
wart,
like
bro.
a wart, no, if you
Oh,
have a
my boy's calling
bruise
it that.
and like it starts to like turn yellow, don't you just want to push it because it feels good?
I
Like, bro,
I do push bruises. I was talking
and
Pat brought this up before the show, and I was like, I'm surprised you also do that. I like
I
to
enjoy bruises.
I like to give a
Yeah,
bruise a good push. It's like a
it's nice.
spite thing. It's like, all right, bro, you want to bruise up? Like, I'll make you fucking bruise
Yeah,
up.
and then
You
it's
know?
like that type of pain where it's like, yeah, that kind of feels good. And I'm kind of disappointed I haven't gotten a bruise in a
Everybody
while.
at
So
home, be thankful for Pat. He had to get that bruise point in because now I totally lost my train of thought. I had one more thing to say about Sevy. It's
yeah,
all good though.
definitely we talked about Sevi.
Yeah. Bottom line
It's over.
is good things are happening, dude.
Sevi, come
Things
home.
are happening.
That's
I
all I'm
wanted I
saying.
wanted to point that out before we get to the Rays series topic, just in case.
Yes, and that is topic number 4, Dan. We have topic number 4. We're talking about a 4-game set against the Tampa Bay
Huge.
Rays. Yeah, huge 4-game set starting tonight and continuing through the weekend, bro. It's going to be insane. The Yankees are sending out Domingo, Cole, Nestor, and Schmidt in this 4-game series, bro. I'm not getting my hopes up just because I'm not letting like the Oakland A's series like convince me that the Yankees are fully back, that this offense is like not to be worried about. But I am going into the series with a lot more confidence than I did the first Rays series, bro. And I think if I had to make a prediction for what happens, I think we see a split. And I'm not going to lie, I think I'd be very satisfied with a split. Just don't lose the series. If the Yankees lose the series, I'm considering this a massive, massive failure.
I think a split is a guarantee. That to me is the minimum. I'm now looking at a team that, and dude, it's a no-brainer. Like you go into this series feeling a lot better than you did last week. The first reason just being Judge, and also just the way they've looked. I remember my point, by the way, and it's in also relation to this. Domingo Germán too. I feel good about Domingo Germán, man. All of a sudden, like I look forward to him pitching. I really do. I mean, even the starts where he doesn't almost throw a perfect game, which feels like it's almost happened like twice this year. He keeps you in the game, and not in like that way where you say like how I did about Brito throwing him a bone. Like no, Germán, like I can count on him for 5 innings, 2 runs. So going into this series, I also feel pretty good about him and just in general with him being a piece of the Yankee rotation for probably a good while to come. Anyways, though, I'm expecting at least a split. I don't look at the Rays as a team that is that much better than us. And of course, we are also in the Bronx now, which should hopefully make a difference. I think it's going to be like an electric series, by the way. Like in terms of,
so too.
I think it's going to be packed house every single night. This is go back to like the summer vibes. Like this is the equivalent of, like Yankees Red Sox in 18 or Yankees Blue Jays last year in 21. Like this is a big, big series and even bigger if you have hopes on winning the division because I don't know exactly the next time that we're going to play them, but because of the new balanced schedule, we're only facing in division teams, 12 times a year?
August.
So, yeah, dude, like if you want to make ground up on the Rays directly, this is your last chance for quite some time. Now, I'm expecting a split, or no, I'm expecting at least a guarantee of a split. I want to kind of put my hopes out there, like expectations out there, like, no, like go win 3 out of 4. And not just because, to win the division, that's not even what my mind is set on right now, but you just have to win games. And I think the Yankees are at a point right now with Judge back, with Bader hitting the way he is, with the lineup starting to somewhat click. Pitching has been good too. I think we're now in a spot to where you can beat the Rays. You're better than the Rays. You could have beat them last week if it were not for some stupid decisions and, a rare Cole implosion. Like, I don't look at it as a world where the Rays are some like leaps and bounds better than the Yankees. If anything, like I think they're actually now on the same tier. And then once we get Stanton back, just how it was entering the year, we're better than them. A lot of this, I'll give the Rays this, like they're a better team than I thought they were. They're not this fucking good. And that was, if there was one thing that the last series showed me, well, despite them, they owned me. They really did. For anybody that follows me on Twitter, I was, I got owned by the Rays. But what's clear to me is that they are a beatable team.
They're beatable, but they're also very, very good. And I think that we all slept on them coming in. Bro, I said that they were going to be a last place team, dude. And I think we just kind of have to come to the realization, like, this is a very good baseball team. And if the Yankees can win the series, I think that's huge, dude. And also let's not forget, like, if the Rays lose Wednesday night, because we're recording this Wednesday, but we could be entering the series 8 games back. Bro, a sweep, you're only 4 games back. And all of a sudden, the division race is open again. So I think if the Yankees aren't walking into this series, and like we said, this is the last time I believe they play the Rays until the end of August. So this is the last time you control your destiny until, bro, we're in like the home stretch. So
Yep.
you need to walk into this series and dominate, bro. Like, you need to walk in there like your hair's on fire. Do not treat it like you're playing the Oakland A's, bro, because this series is going to have that postseason feel. Dude, I'm looking at Friday night's game. First of all, beautiful Friday night. It's that Anthony Rizzo Star Wars bobblehead night, and
Word.
Garrett Cole is on the mound. Friday night
Sell
might
out.
be one of the biggest games of the season, dude. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for this series in general. And I think at the very minimum, I will be happy with winning the series, but I think I'll be satisfied with a split. But dude, winning all 4 changes the season
Yeah.
entirely.
So like you said, if let's say the Rays were to lose tonight or whatever, if we were to sweep, then yeah, we're within 4 games. But if we were to take 3 out of 4, I'm just trying to think of the math. If we enter the series down 8, we win 3 out of 4. That would bring us within 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And if the Rays
I mean,
end up
that's
winning tonight,
simple
then
math,
6. But
bro.
no, it always just, dude, it doesn't compute in my head. It's something I need. Like, I need a friend to talk through with. But yo, also, I'll mention this once again, not just about the Rays, it's about winning games. We could maybe lead some teams this weekend. Toronto and Boston right now. Toronto's 21-15. Boston's 21-16. We're 21-17. So, if we take care of business this weekend, and obviously you can't control what they do, but it's time to also start leaping some teams. Like, the wild card race very much could be in our future, and we're only a half game out of it. But just point being, it's not just about the division. It's not just about who you're playing. Like, you got to stack up W's. And the Yankees, off to a good start doing that, sweeping the A's. How good will we feel? Even if it is a split, if it's a split and you look good, this 3-game sweep against the A's and then look good against the
No,
Rays, hopefully split at least, like, what? I would say, like,
no. I disagree because, like, bro, I don't think that there's any scenario where it's like, oh, it's a split, but we look good. I don't care about that. Like, it
no,
goes back to my thought
4-game
process of the
series, I'm
last
always
series.
cool with a split for the most part.
No, dude, because I don't just want to look good. Like, if we look good, then that means that we should win. We should win the series at the very minimum, dude. Like, the only
I'm
thing
not
I
excusing
would
any
be
blowing games. I think you're
no, and
saying something different than I'm implying, but I go on. I
no, but I'm
kind of
saying
agree.
like I'll be satisfied with a split, but I want, like, bro, I want to be ecstatic after the series. I want to exit this series feeling like, bro, the New York Yankees are back and like they are on a revenge tour. Like, that's what I want to
I'm
feel like.
with you.
I don't, and anything less than that, like, I'm gonna feel upset. And that's why it's like, while I say I'm satisfied with
No,
a split, will I be happy with a split? I don't know, because we're
I'm
just gonna be in the same place where we started, what, 9 or 8 games back, whatever it is.
yeah, I think you're
I want to
also
feel like we made progress.
you're still like really getting hyped up on the division, which no reason not to. Like, I totally understand that. I am absolutely going into this like I want to take 3 out of 4. But there also is a world where I'm still feeling really good about the Yankees if they come out with a split. And also just in general, anytime a team, like if we're going to a 4-game set regardless, like a split, like it's hard to win 4-game series. So I'm just saying, like, there is a world where they look good, and as long as they don't blow any games, if it's just fair and square, like no bullshit, they just split the series with the Rays, went toe to toe with them. I'm kind of about reestablishing ourselves as in the same tier. Like, we are just like regardless how it comes, if it's at least a split, I want to prove to all of baseball, further prove that we are just as good, if not better, than the Tampa Bay Rays. I think you can do that by a split, proving you're just as good. And if you do take 3 out of 4, or maybe even sweep, which obviously that's what you're going for, then it's no, like, we're the fucking Yankees and we're better than these frauds.
But just hear what I'm saying with my final point here. I want this series to change the Yankees season, because this is one of the last chances for them to kind of like turn their season around with a series for a very long time. So it's like, bro, the only way you change your season is by winning this series. And you're not changing your
Division
season
wise.
around. Yes, and bro, but it's the beginning of May. Like, that's still what we're looking. That's what we should be looking at. So, bro, turn your season around and win this friggin' series, bro. That's all I'm looking at
Absolutely.
right
And
now.
I want to make it clear, by no means am I giving up on the division. Absolutely not. It's just like that's like not even like my focal point, not even like what's on my mind. It's just, one, do not lose, but also like give yourself, like, make other teams respect you. Like, I want it to be clear by the end of this weekend, clear without any hesitation, that no, the Yankees are just as good as the Rays and they're going to be a problem this year.
But you know what the problem with splits are? It's like I'm looking back at that 4-game series we had at home against the Astros last year, where that kind of changed the Yankees season for the worse, where we split it with them, and it didn't really feel like make us feel good about like facing the Astros.
I don't think
right?
that series changed it for the worse though.
I know, but like
also,
bro,
I think we're getting a little too hung
like,
up on the split thing here. I mean, I'm not rooting for that.
You're not letting me make my point. All I'm saying is that like a split doesn't do anything for me mentally, bro. Nothing. And just like the same way, like we viewed that Astros series last year, it's like, yo, we're facing the Astros. Like, let's really prove ourselves that we could beat them. And we split. Like, it didn't really feel like we did much. So I want to leave this series feeling like we could demolish the Tampa Bay Rays and that this season isn't freaking over, dude. That's what I want to feel.
I hear
like.
you.
And a split will not do that for me.
I'm here. I'm absolutely. I hear you 100%. I'm still gonna set my expectation at least a split, with the hopes of going 3 out of 4, which is very quite possible. Like I said, I think these teams are.
I think it's a necessity. I think you have to win 3 out of 4.
I think this team without Stan right now is just as good as the Rays. So I want them to prove that this weekend, and then the end goal is that we are better. And if we are able to make up ground, it's the only thing. It's tough, dude, to make up an 8-game lead. So like I'm not gonna think about that until we get to within 6. Of course, it's doable. It's
especially
doable.
when you have a 4-game series in the palm of your hands against the team that you're chasing.
It's huge. It's huge.
Now's the time, bro. Now's the time.
This is an electric, big, like box office type series right here. Yankees.
And
Rays,
bro, God forbid
classic.
they lose 3 out of 4, or God forbid they get swept. You will see a side of me that, like, bro, I'm gonna.
No, they ain't gonna lose 3 out of 4 or get swept. No,
distraught.
They're too good.
You want to get into topic number 5?
Yeah, let's do it real quick. By the way, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Big news though.
One thing I do want to say before we do hit on topic 5, bro. The Yankees sent Devi back down to AAA, so Devi was up for 1 game, sent back down. I like.
Nice
Devi
to see him though. It was nice to see him again.
It was nice. But the main topic 5 we want to hit on, bro. The Mets signed Gary Sanchez, our boy, to a minor league contract. Shout out to Gary. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish he was on the Yankees, but
me too.
I hope at some point he makes the Mets major league roster and kind of rakes.
Oh, I hope he tears the cover off the ball. Absolutely. And for those that are saying, because I don't know it's gonna come like happens every time we talk about Gary, which we kind of do a lot. I know it's a common theme. People are like, well, why would you want Gary back on the Yankees? Just understand, like me and Pat and a lot of other Yankee fans that like grew up watching, like we have an attachment to Gary. We just like Gary Sanchez. We also know that he was shit for us towards the end, and it made sense probably to part ways. But like, yo, he's far and away like he was like how I am with Judge. Like Gary was first in a way, like my love for a player.
Yeah,
and that'll stick for the rest of his career, dude. Even before he signed with the Mets, when he was with the Giants, bro. Like I downloaded the MILB first pitch, like the at bat thing, which is like the way you check games, just to check. I would check every day on how Gary Sanchez did. It got quite depressing, but hopefully with the Mets, he does well. He's gonna start in AAA for them, and dude, like it'd be cool to see, and it makes sense. I always, dude. Didn't you just know Gary was gonna end up like a Met one day in the back of your head? It just felt right in a way, like, or you just felt like it was gonna happen.
You know who else will? Chapman. I think he's gonna be traded to the Mets. It makes too much sense.
I had that prediction as well that they could have, because I mean that makes actual sense for them that they could use some bullpen help and Chapman.
And they love Yankee relievers, bro.
Yeah, dude. How about the Mets, man? I kind of feel bad for them. They've lost like 11 of their last 14. They're really going through it. Dude, Verlander and Scherzer might just both be washed, and then.
Yeah, but dude, what did you think was gonna happen when the top of your rotation's like 40?
Remember when actually I guess I shouldn't talk shit. I was about to say, remember when they said their rotation was better than ours?
Yeah,
we both kind of got some karma from the baseball gods. That's why you shouldn't talk prematurely, dude.
Yeah, but it's kind of.
I'm saying that sarcastically, actually, because I'm the king of talking prematurely. Let's get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Socials, where can they find you?
TikTok, Twitter, @UnhingedPatrick, Instagram @TrueHennessy, and also follow the Yankees Avenue Show on TikTok. Shout out to Alana. We're posting so much beautiful content all in there.
Awesome. Dan Rourke on Twitter, Dan Rourke on Instagram, Yankees Avenue on Instagram, Yankees Avenue here on YouTube. Any final thoughts, Pat?
No. Just win this series. And the next time we see you guys, it will be after this series. So win the damn series and change the season around.
Love it. All right, y'all. See you guys Monday. Let's go, Yankees.
Her body's gone like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.